Hey traders, checking in on the cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin trading sideways over the weekend, allowing altcoins to do their thing. A new trade has been born in a relationship between stocks and cryptocurrencies. I took advantage of it over the weekend. Let's look at what that is. So as I'm sure you've heard at this point, Facebook is changing its name to Meta, and they're talking about the metaverse and this virtual reality space and how they're going to develop it over the years. And with that news, Facebook stock, which had a bearish reaction to earnings, it has responded very well the last couple of days. But more importantly, for us in the cryptocurrency space, there are now a few coins that have been running wild with this announcement and essentially just jumping on the hype. And this is how trading works. You have, right now I'm trading names in the psychedelic space as far as stocks. One company is breaking out and doing really well. So we're all looking at the other related names in that sector who are now starting to see laggard bull moves in unison and just acting bullish. And this was the leader. So essentially we're looking at Facebook, Meta being the main player in the space right now, getting all the attention. And these coins, Mana, Sand, and CHZ running in response to that. And these are no baby moves. This is huge volume. 500% in 3 days for Mana. CHZ is another one. Again, big moves, gave it back, gave a lot of it back, but we'll talk about the trading opportunity that presented. And then Sand USDT, and same thing. Significant move up, held its gains better than the other two. And so why does this matter? Yeah, pump and dump, whatever. No, not pump and dump. Pump, yeah, play the pump, play the 4-hour equilibrium, which we'll look at. But what this means is it's a new trade. So anytime Facebook has metaverse news, run right to these coins and see if you can establish a bullish position because they will respond to it. And that will taper out over time. It will be less and less impactful. But after multiple 100% pump, you better believe that the next time there's news, everybody's going to jump and look to those names to say, are we going to about to go 100% again? Is that going to happen again? And that's where traders are going to make opportunity. And again, as I keep saying, opportunity, there's no such thing as once in a lifetime opportunity in markets these days because you have these things that just keep presenting themselves. Just more and more opportunities, new technology, exponential growth of technology. We're going to be trading anti-gravity tickers and anti-gravity cryptocurrency related to the stocks. You get the idea. It's just never going to end, this opportunity, as long as there are markets. So Bitcoin, we'll look at Mana in depth in just a moment. But Bitcoin is trying to confirm a weekly bull flag. What do we need for a weekly higher low to be set? We need a daily trend change back to the bulls, which means we need to set a higher low on the daily and see a bull break of 63,000. Break 63,000 and a daily trend change is confirmed. So two things are going to happen this week. One of two things. We're either going to break 57.6, continuing the daily downtrend and decreasing the probability of a weekly bull flag, or we hold that support and break 63,000, increasing the probability of a weekly bull flag significantly. One good sign for Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space is what the related stocks are doing today. And this is with weakness in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been dropping. The stock market bell rang right here, and it's been dropping ever since. But look at our crypto stocks. Coin for Coinbase, daily uptrend was never lost, and here we are breaking out to higher highs. MARA, minor, daily equilibrium broke bull. The upper wick is responding to the Bitcoin weakness, but it's still up 5% at the moment, and it was up 9% earlier, and HUT up at all-time highs. So crypto stocks continue to outperform Bitcoin, and this is nothing new. Again, the cryptocurrency stocks, in a time where Bitcoin's gone up 600% over the last 12 or 14 months, these stocks have gone up thousands of percent. So I know everybody loves Bitcoin and that's the king, but there's more opportunity elsewhere trading the correlations related to Bitcoin. And also just looking at these names for clues to see how it stands out, how they stand out comparative to Bitcoin. And bulls still like these names, even with Bitcoin consolidating. So that just, let's say, if I'm 60% that it's a weekly bull flag on Bitcoin, after seeing this action on these stocks today, maybe I'm 65%. It's just a little bit of a point in favor of the bulls. So what we need is Bitcoin to confirm a 4-hour trend change with a higher low and higher high to set the daily high or low. But we are weak right now. Bulls are really struggling to get any kind of short-term bounce going. We are 5 and 15-minute oversold. We'll just be scouting a 15-minute lower high. So 4-hour tightening range. And again, altcoins are A-OK with this tightening range. We have been trading within this range now for the last week and a half, and it's allowing individual coins to do their own thing. The dominance chart is not really giving us much information aside from the fact that it is still weaker, which means the altcoins are still stronger, which again, sideways Bitcoin, altcoins are stronger. ETH/USD has definitely been frustrating, and it is a potential rising wedge. Again, rising wedges break bullish more often than not in a bullish market environment. I shouldn't say more often than not. I should say more often than usual when you're in a bullish environment, which cryptocurrency certainly is still in a bullish environment. But if you can't get follow through breaking the all-time high, you got to be cautious. That shows us bull exhaustion. And it's just been a tease because we break these highs, we double top at the all-time high, then we break it with no follow through. It is still a daily uptrend, and we can say that as long as 3,900 is holding, the bulls are in control of the daily uptrend. But again, it leaves something to be desired. We're not getting that strength and follow through that we grew accustomed to, at least if you were trading this space in 2017. And that's why Mana was so beautiful this weekend, because it did get that huge follow through. And it's a completely different trading style, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But what Ethereum has to do is change the 4-hour trend back to the bulls with a higher low and higher high. So we need to hold 41.51 and break 43.85. And if we confirm the 4-hour trend change, our daily high or low is set. And again, it's still just fine for the bulls. Just have to be cautious. You have to have a game plan. What if we break this rising wedge bearish into weekly consolidation for ETH? For me personally, with my swing position, that doesn't matter. I'm still going to hold it. But any shorter term positions that I enter, I would certainly want to stop out of. ETH BTC, daily uptrend still intact here as well. But again, I am scouting a 2-week lower high as the most likely scenario, which can mean that this remains a tight equilibrium into the end of the year. As every candle is 2 weeks, and it's possible we top out and then consolidate a little bit. Next thing you know, we're into the end of December, looking towards 2022. So no 2-week lower high set as long as we are still in a daily uptrend, and bulls are trying to form another daily high or low, just like ETH BTC is trying to, just like ETH USD is trying to form a daily high or low here. So Mana was fun. And I missed the initial breakout. I was late to the game and still made a lot of profit in terms of percent on this move. So I wasn't really recognizing in the moment what was happening with the Facebook meta news. I was more focused on the stock market world. But what got me interested here is just look at the equilibrium breaks. This is the 30-minute time frame. So I saw this big breakout and I said, oh man, I missed it. And then I saw this 30-minute equilibrium. And I just waited patiently and bought the bull break. And I market bought the bull break, anticipating that if we broke 273, it would be possible to see a new all-time high over 343. And it certainly followed through way more than I could have ever hoped for. And so that was a great move, but had to be quick and was just playing hot potato with it, where I would take some profit and then I recognized, a 15-minute bull flag, inside bar bull break, re-enter, scaling out. Again, the number one thing that I don't care about is leaving money on the table. I'm just going to keep locking it in. Ended up with a 2-week maker on this initial push up. And again, didn't care at all about trying to nail the top, just scaling out. And by market buying, again, it used to be in 2017, I would market buy all in my position on an all-time high resistance break because we would get notable follow through. And if Bitcoin gets 3% of follow through in the first 10 minutes of a new all-time high, I can sell partial position and my break even is then way more comfortable. And that allows for aggressive trading. And once I had a profitable position, here's another aspect of aggressive trading. I had a profitable position in Mana. I was averaging up and market buying resistance breaks with increased position size, more than I've used in an altcoin in as long as I can remember. And again, just not afraid to increase my position size because I had so much profit to work with. And I got to a point where I said, okay, well, if I give back all of my profit on this trade, I had a great week in stocks this past week, and that's fine. If I go break even over the weekend in crypto, no biggie. But that mindset allowed me to increase position size and get big wins. So from there, once we climaxed, topped, I then said, okay, well, I'm not interested in any trades. I'm not giving back that profit. I'm scouting a 4-hour higher low because a 4-hour equilibrium is the most likely scenario. And all we need to do is go back and look at history of our other runners who did the same thing. So look at this move. All-time high. We then pulled back for 4 candles, hitting EMA 12 support, little bit of a bounce, and then held that low. SHIB, good friend SHIB, breakout to all-time highs. It was faster. We pulled back. We set that low, saw a bounce, held that low, and then got the bull follow through. It's the exact same setup. It just took more candles to take place. There was the bounce, held the low, and now a bit more follow through, and it's tightening up. So the trade that I made yesterday and I posted on Twitter, when that setup was there, it was scouting 4-hour EMA 12 support, scouting 15-minute oversold conditions. And it took a lot of maneuvering where I would scale in and then scale out partial because we were getting 10% bounces that weren't the 4-hour high or low. So I would scale in and then scale out a little bit and then scale back in. And then there it goes. It exploded 40% to the upside. And unfortunately, I was away from the computer when that took place and I had a stop level in. So I didn't get the ideal exits. You know, my exits were more like 310. Would have been nice to be sitting here and selling 320, 330 because my target was 325 to 350. But that's the way she goes. Life goes on. So 4-hour equilibrium now is the most likely scenario. And that's why I was scouting the bounce, because after massive volatility, you scout equilibriums. So you get multiple chances on a breakout like this. You get the initial breakout, and then you know to patiently wait for the higher low and likely equilibrium. So the higher low is set at 255. Now our 4-hour lower high is set at 350. And now we're going to scout a higher low compared to 255 for this pattern to continue tightening up. And it may tighten up for another 5-6 candles and give us a break either tomorrow or Wednesday, where we will see a volume and volatility spike again. If it is a bear break, we zoom out, we scout a daily higher low, we scout hourly oversold conditions, and we do it all over again, where we then scout a daily higher low and a bounce. So again, it's just one time frame at a time, but very similar setups within those time frames. And we've got inside bars on the daily to be watching. So I know personally that I'm going to play it cautious and say, okay, well, if we set a 4-hour higher low and break 350, I may be interested in a bull break entry. I would certainly be looking to lock in profit fairly quickly because the daily chart looks like this with no consolidation. But otherwise, I know if the trade's coming to me, it's going to be hourly oversold, scouting a daily higher low. Keep an eye on the peers. Keep an eye on CHZ and SAND. And again, SAND is stronger. Look at the 4-hour follow through. So this is a much stronger equilibrium. We're scouting the same 4-hour higher low. Is this a cup and handle? You can make the argument this is a potential cup and handle. If 196 holds, then it's a possible cup and handle. And if this were to break out in a cup and handle pattern, look to the peers and watch for them to act as laggards. So a new trade is born. Watch Facebook and its news. When it's bullish metaverse and the stock responds bullish, I would expect these coins to respond bullish. Mana BTC, same pattern, directly correlated and in the spotlight for that reason. Keeping an eye out for any clues when correlations shift, but no sign of that at this point. SHIB USDT, getting real nice and tight, 6-hour. So again, we know volume and volatility is incoming. And if I don't have a position, which I don't, I want to see a lower high set compared to 7,800. And then I want to see a pullback for a 6-hour higher low. There are 2 ways to play equilibriums. Number 1, you bottom fish support, which worked real well, or you top fish resistance while it's forming, but then it gets tight to a point where the risk and reward is no longer worth trading within the equilibrium. If I think this equilibrium is going to break bear, I'm entering bearish entries right now and putting my stop over 7,800. If I think this pattern is going to break bull, I'm entering on a 6-hour higher low and using 5,700 as my stop. If I don't know the direction it's going to break, I'm waiting for it to get as tight as possible and then give us that break. If it is a bull break, we're going to test that all-time high and a potential daily bull flag. If it is a bear break, we're going to zoom out for the potential of weekly consolidation. But 6-hour for clarity, scouting a lower high and then a higher low. And that means Wednesday or Thursday could be the day we get a break if this lower high shapes up today. SHIB BTC, Not a whole lot of info here as Bitfinex just started giving us this information, but you can see the same equilibrium. So again, watching it for potential clues and watching it for a lower high. Sushi USDT standing out today. Bulls have really been unable to keep their gains. That has been a very common theme on Sushi. And you can see that with all these big upper wicks. So one thing I'm keeping an eye on is this uptrending resistance line, which keeps rejecting the price. There's 6 hours left in this candle, so we can reject from it still. And as far as a support line, I don't really have anything that I like here. I guess that would be it. But it was an equilibrium that broke bull. Question is, can bulls keep their gains? And one thing to keep in mind about Sushi, it's still very range bound on the weekly. And anything under 1620 is just a weekly lower high. So again, this is a name where I can say if we set a weekly lower high compared to 1620, we are going to have a very volatile Q1 of 2022 because we have a long-term tightening equilibrium. And there's a bunch of those out there. GME and AMC stocks are in long-term equilibriums. They're going to have a massively volatile early 2022. And there's more. I'm forgetting them off the top of my head. And Sushi BTC has to keep gains. Weekly time frame, anything under 2707 is just a lower high. Have to keep in the spotlight. There's our big breakout, but one thing that Sushi is known for is giving back those gains. Hourly, plenty of space for a higher low. And some DeFi names are running with Sushi today. OMG bulls are showing up. Link, a little bit of green. All right. Hopefully that's a new trade to add to your tool belt. Correlations, keep an eye out for news, and then run over. And don't just blindly buy. You need to have a clear support level that you're playing off of. But if there is momentum and you enter into it, again, I love just scaling out partial position. If I enter it $3 and it's shooting up and there's no support nearby, I can sell half at 310, and just like that, my break even is 290, making me much more comfortable. Feel free to ask any questions. Hope you had a good weekend. Congrats to the bulls that were already in these plays before the breakout took place. And congrats to those that took advantage of the opportunity of volatility. Do good things, and we'll see you soon.